My name is Margaret Ann Windsor. That's my real name. The name that I was given when I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, is Peggy Ann Dempsey, and I'm married to Childers. I still have to use that name. I found out about my kidnapping and my real name in late '83 after a political campaign to replace Larry McDonald. I was a candidate. He was a U.S. congressman whose plane went down, the KAL Flight 007. He was aboard it, Larry McDonald was, and he was a urologist in Atlanta. I'd written about him in a medical malpractice book, MD: A License to Kill. Of course, it was me that almost got killed. I wrote it in '77, '78. Got a letter from the FBI June the 23rd of '79, and April the 1st of '80, I had antifreeze put in me and should have died. It was a fiasco. Every law in the book broken there, but it's almost like how many laws can be broken and not one person pay for them, be held accountable? Nothing. It's just like an ongoing, and that's what the FBI said, issued a letter from William Harper, U.S. Attorney in Atlanta. It was national security involved, ongoing investigation. It's my ongoing hell. And they're stacking them, just like they said. The laws and criminal acts and terrorism done against me and my family and my country. I wrote about mind control murders. I had worked for doctors and Larry Flint. I say that because he wrote me up in Hustler magazine, April of '84, and it was an editorial and a nice one, political. I was up there for his political help, and he said I knew who was responsible for his shooting, and the person that shot him was programmed to do so. So, I mean, over the years, some of these murders, you wouldn't know it because mind control is invisible. So this agency has deliberately done them in patterns. So you think there would be an end to it and it would be exposed, and what's my kidnapping, and my real name is Victoria II. My father was King Edward VIII, who married my mom. He was legally married to my mom, Claudia O'Keefe, of Madison, Wisconsin. Georgia O'Keefe's my aunt, the artist. So I was born legal heir to the British Crown. My Uncle George, who became the illegal George VI, helped take down with nothing but lies. Imposter married Wallace Simpson. My father was legally wed to my mom, so it was one big effort that has never been corrected. It was nothing but lies, and it was a forced illegal abdication, and I am the legal heir according to law. But then Elizabeth and Philip, and I want to bring that name in here because I wrote about mind control murders, and there's no need to go on and on about it. This is one that's happened. I grew up with, after I was put in this hellhole, it was a pigsty, and they gave me the name of the twins, Peggy, and the other twin was Carl. In reality, both twins had been killed by their mother, Lina Dempsey, and the family shut it all up because she would have faced the death penalty in Alabama, and also about my kidnapping. So they covered the whole thing up. But Philip was placed there, and I don't think he was born in that family either. But Philip, and I'm not going to say his last name, I grew up, he was the only nice thing, he and one other person. In my growing up, the rest of them was so horrible. But anyway, in all of this, the murders done in patterns, they've used my name, my son's names, Mark and Scott. They've used Elizabeth, who is illegal Elizabeth II, who stole my money, her father, and the crown, and she's living off of my money and my hell, and doling things out to other people, mainly her clothes and all that, it looks like. But Anyway, I've starved and frozen and everything in the book done to me. In the meantime, trying to tell people about the mind control murders and what had been done to me. And they really turn around and kill the messenger, me. But I'm not going to focus on that. I put it on former videos. The media knows it. It's controlled by the Rockefellers and Rothschilds and the people that kidnapped me. And Joe Kennedy was ambassador and helped kidnap me. And Roosevelt appointed him. So this is back in 41. I was kidnapped and born in 39. But Philip was placed there at, I guess in 1945, about 45 or 44, and I was taken there in 41 to Moulton. And Philip, it was like I became his mother. I cared for him. I didn't want him to go through the pain I had gone through. But later, I'll just say this, he was kind of commandeered, you could say it if you know all that's used, and worked for law enforcement, which is, do they help you or do they hurt you, you know? So they've killed people in patterns over the years, and I've told people, the media knew about my kidnapping, and this part of it, if they tell about kidnapping me, taking down my father, and what happened with illegal treaties signed by George VI, and then Elizabeth kept it up, then it would not look good at all in what they've done to me and my sons, Mark and Scott here. Okay, this one, somebody will say, well, you could, I don't know what to say, so I won't even get into it. Huh. I was looking at his birth date. It was July the 23rd, 67. Anyway, his name's Philip, and the Seymour, you could go, because this, people will start tuning it out. I can't, you have to have a database. If they want to tune it out, they can, because one FBI agent said it's not until they find out how it affects them that they care. Seymour would be like Jane Seymour, who's British, and she has twins, because you have twins used in the patterns and all that. So this Philip Seymour Hoffman, now then, he's dead. They said of an overdose. And then they go back in his past and say he was an addict and all this. Well, I want to say this here. I wrote about programming and mind control. And this was in 77 and 78, so it's much more sophisticated now. And it's been going on like MK Ultra was called before Congress in 53 and given a slap on the hand. So you can follow the yellow brick road. It's really easy to do now, and it's been in progress for a long time. So what they do is they can program you to appear to be mentally ill or showing symptoms. And by the way, if your psychiatrists and doctors don't know the difference, then they should not be practicing medicine. And obviously, they don't tell the truth because none of them are telling this. And the media just now, again, have gone to your doctors on television that work for them, etc., and gotten their opinion. They say nothing about mind control and all this, the shootings and all that can be proven. The Tucson, the Aurora, all of them. The ones that they've publicized. So that gets into, they're actually publicizing the ones that are done in patterns. Because there's a hell of a lot, of murders and things that happen that aren't done in these patterns. Whether mind control was used in it, I don't know. So let me say this before I go. Philip is also used, he married Elizabeth, and I'm not going to call her queen. She's not. She's a fraud and a traitor and a thief. And Philip, that married her, he's as much kin to me as is her cousins. And he's gone along with it, all of them. So I do have some family outside the Windsors, and maybe a few that are Windsors, I hope. But as a whole, they exiled me and my father and my mom and my kids and helped torture us and give away Great Britain. Um,